We want to welcome back 14th Circuit Solicitor Duffie Stone to WHHI. You are a regular visitor, but this is the first time we've had a chance to chat. So I want to ask you a really goofy question right off the bat. Why solicitor? I've been here 20 years,
right?
But like so many South Carolinians, I come from out of state. You're the district attorney,
Oh,
right?
I can go to a group and speak to a group of 200 people, and none of them are from South Carolina, so they've never heard the term. South Carolina is the only place that uses the term. Solicitor comes from an English term of two different lawyers, one being the solicitor that prepares the case, and one being the barrister that actually takes the case into court. Why they called us solicitors instead of barristers, I'm spending an awful lot of time in court, and I'm not real clear on why they chose that one, but we're the only ones that do that, and so it's good to sort of start out with, it's the district attorney, but it's the exact same.
Okay. Boy, it seems to be something the state legislature could fix really quickly, although it involves lawyers, so it may probably not so
maybe
quickly.
so. But now it's such a now it's okay. I mean, it doesn't offend me to be called the solicitor instead of the district attorney, but it does require me to introduce myself a different way.
And you also don't want to be referred to as soliciting.
That's
illegal.
That's true. That's right.
All right, let's talk about a great program that you have begun instituting within your office that is going to make a big difference to any of us who are facing court cases coming
That's right.
up. You call it the triage system.
Right.
What does it do and how does it work?
Well, we started this in October of last year, and we were able to do it because the South Carolina Supreme Court gave us an order that allowed us to do it. And
you helped write that order.
I did.
Okay.
I worked with Justice Buck James, who was on the South Carolina Supreme Court at the time. Now, we had a lot of input. We started at Christmas 2 years ago when most people were enjoying their holiday. I was in an abandoned government building in Columbia, in the basement, no less.
Okay.
But the concept of triage is we spend a lot of time as prosecutors working on old cases and getting those old cases. And of course, with 2 years of shutdown that COVID brought us, we have a lot of those.
Sure.
Triage is a different approach, though. Triage is while you are working on these older cases, create a program that focuses on the new cases. So we now have groups of lawyers that are working on cases as they come in. They are assigned the cases within 24 hours. And again, it's a result of two things. The Supreme Court gave us an order that allowed it. The General Assembly gave us enough prosecutors to actually get it off the ground. It's not where it needs to be, but it is a good start. But what the Supreme Court order did in particular was recognize that if you are working on new cases, and if you're going to truly make some difference in that, you're going to have time to prepare and to focus. And you cannot be worried about having to be called off to court by a judge that needs you in court for this. So this system really gives these lawyers time to work on these things, and it has been phenomenally successful.
Well, let's talk about it, because you track it.
I track it every day.
Yeah,
I track it every day, Bob.
How successful is it?
We started out in October when we put the system in place. The order went in place in July. The General Assembly money went into July, but you have to hire the lawyers, you have to train them. And so when they got through their training process, we started it in October. We had 6,000 pending cases throughout the circuit. Today we have a little over 4,100.
Okay.
We have literally in that 1 year time span doubled our productivity. We prosecuted 2 years ago. We prosecuted a little over 2,000 cases. This year we prosecuted 4,100 cases, and so. It shows you the effect of actually having a game plan, having the resources to go after that game plan and what it can do.
All right. So what's the goal for 2025? What are you kind of hoping to have when we sit down here next year?
Well, and here's the thing. I've been doing this since 1989. I've never seen a more consistent reduction in the docket. I've seen times where we've had a month that it reduced the docket, but we were back up 2 months later. This has been consistent, so I don't hope for that continuation. I expect that. What I want to do, though, is this. The goal of the Supreme Court order can be summarized in the very first line, which is in an efficient criminal justice system, cases should come to fruition in a matter of months and not a matter of years. That's what we want to accomplish. We've got a lot of old cases we're going to have to get to. We're going to need to bring in some new lawyers to start working those old cases back through the triage system, but we now have a blueprint that tells us how to do it. But understand this, we talk a lot about a defendant's right to a speedy trial, and they have one, clearly. Although, arguably over the years that I've been a prosecutor, I haven't seen a lot of the defendants that want speedy trials.
Right.
But I tell you who does.
Yeah.
Number one, crime victims.
Right.
I don't know if there is a such thing as closure, but I know that victims cannot move on until we finish the job. The second group, the second entity in the criminal justice system that wants a speedy trial is a prosecutor. Delay never helps us. I deal with witnesses who move. I deal with witnesses that die. I deal with witnesses that simply have forgotten what happened 2 or 3 years ago. And so I don't want a case languishing on the docket. It doesn't help me prosecute that case. And so for us, what I want to look at going into 2025, and again, I think it's going to take the same blueprint that we've been using, but with an additional group of lawyers. Right now, every lawyer that we've got in our office is handling roughly 300 cases apiece. That's too many.
Yeah.
That's not, you think of it in that context of a doctor's office. You go into an emergency room and you got 300 people in front of you. That's what every crime victim faces. So we've got to get more lawyers in it, but now we have a blueprint and we know how to make it work.
We wish you well with that.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me, Bob.
Well, it's been great to chat with you and to get to know you a little better. And we'll be talking to him again soon. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
14th Circuit Solicitor. He's the DA. Duffie Stone. We'll be back with more right after this.